Hello, my friends and the network marketing family. It's been a few days, and I haven't really been able to or ready to have a conversation about the amazing soul that we lost on Saturday. But to be honest, I'm still not coping well with the entire situation. And the reasoning behind that, I guess, is never really lost somebody that was not kind of expected to be lost. You know, like a grandparent or a great-grandparent or something like that. Nobody close in my family, really, and certainly not someone younger than one of my children. But Jessie Lee was a pretty special human being for a lot of reasons. And I wanted to talk with all of you today when I felt like I could kind of hold myself together to do it. And tell you about the events of this last week and tell you about my intentions moving forward and thank all of you for your kindness. Jessie Lee's an example of the best of our profession. She's also the example of how much a person can contribute in even a brief time. In this case, far too short of time. But how many people were impacted as a result of her work, of her commitment, of her energy, of her heart. It's just enormous, and it's going to continue to go. It's going to continue to grow. I think you measure a life by three things. One, the number of experiences that you have. Two, the intensity of those experiences. And three, the number of lives that you touch, the number of people that you contribute to. And by that measure, Jessie Lee lived many, 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 many lifetimes in her brief season on this earth in a bodily form. Met her 7 or 8 years ago for the first time. Blue hair, excited, but I never worked with someone that was able to take input or feedback, coaching or guidance, and immediately implement it and improve on it like she did. Never, ever. It as a teacher, there's nothing more gratifying than seeing somebody that you were a little piece of their story, a little catalyst to help them take it and run and take it to its highest level. And that's what she did. It was amazing to watch, and I was proud of her from the first moment that I met her. We became very close friends, and watching her go through this journey starting in February was difficult and challenging. And she was complaining about kidney stone pain. Some of you are confused about, I thought things were good. I thought she had kidney stones. Turns out it wasn't kidney stones that was causing the pain for the last 6 weeks. It was, a pretty awful disease. And I got a message in midweek that says, I'm working on some things. I got to deal with some stuff. It's kind of annoying. And then I got another message from Jessie Lee on Thursday. Doctors saying I don't have much time. I was doing a Zoom call on Thursday, and I had a house full of people. Lisa Nichols was doing an event here. Doing a Zoom call on Thursday, and got a phone call from a dear friend who said, I think you need to get here, and broke down for the first time of many. Had to stop the Zoom call. And even though we had a full house, Lisa Nichols was great. Marina and I got on an airplane on Friday morning, and we flew to Texas to see her. And to say it was hard is a complete understatement. You know, when we talked on Friday, there was not an ounce of quit. She's like, I've got to get strong enough so I can get out here and continue treatment. I've got stuff I got to do. But I knew I was saying goodbye, and Marina did too. I told her that regardless of how much time that she or any of us have on this earth, you really measure it by the contribution and the lives you're able to contribute to in some way. And that regardless of treatment, regardless of results, and regardless of how much time was left, that she was going to live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years because she poured into people like you. Some of you met her and knew her, some of you didn't, but you still were impacted. Like Jim Rohn poured into me, I was able to, in some small way, be connected with her, and she was able to pour into you, that she was going to live for a long time. And that the world was praying, the world was thinking about her, and that was a result of the value that she brought to that world. Makes me think about how much time all of us have and what we should be doing with it. And should we be casual, or should we be determined to leave a bigger footprint? If your time comes out of the blue, what's going to be the legacy? How's it going to be measured? It won't be in dollars, but it'll be in people and lives touched. So we flew back Friday night, worried. And I had some filming to do at our studio, and I had a convention I was speaking at yesterday, on Saturday afternoon here in Las Vegas, like 3,000 people, 3,000 people that had been booked a long time ago. And I had 40 people in my house with this Lisa Nichols event. So I went and filmed what I needed to film Friday morning. And as I'm getting out, and I got basically a half an hour before I'm going to go speak at this conference, Marina pulls up. I'm like, what are you doing here? You should be with Lisa Nichols. She said, I'm going to go with you. I said, okay, we can drive separate. She said, no, let's drive together. So we get in the car, and I see the look on her face, and I'm like, no. Wow. So I'm like, I kind of didn't know what to do. For a moment, I'm like, I have to cancel. I can't speak to this group. I'm not going to be able to hold it together. And that lasted about 10 seconds, and I'll tell you why. What went through my mind is if Jessie Lee was sitting in the car with me, which I believe she was, she would say, get your ass down there. There's another me in that room. There's somebody that can find another me. You have a calling, you have a mission, you have a purpose. Do your purpose. You want to honor me? Go do your purpose. There'll be time for mourning and reflection and sadness and loss and grief. Now's not the time. So I got to tell you, it was one of the hardest things. I've done it a long time, was to go train for 3 hours and pour myself, a little piece of myself, into that room. But I did. And afterwards, I came back to a house filled with people. And I had to take some time. In that moment, condolences, it's a very weird thing. I was not happy to receive them. I didn't want to hear it, honestly. So, took some time. But eventually, came back out and said hello and gave some people some hugs and went into Sunday. We put together a tribute video, which we sent out. I hope you've seen. And I started talking with the team. It's like, first, we need to find every single talk Jessie Lee's ever made, ever done on any stage, in any mastermind, in any challenge, in anything. And we need to find them, and we need to put all of them on YouTube. We need to create an entire library and open up to the world, because her legacy has to continue. As an example of what's possible. With her upbringing, her situation, everything else, everything was stacked against her. And she said, no, I'm going to go big. And today, I had a couple Zooms. I canceled quite a bit, but I had a couple Zooms that were scheduled and decided to man up and, all right, I'm going to do those. What I decided is I'm going to take the time that I have, and I hope it's a long time, and I'm going to invest it into people. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest it into people. I had a group of top leaders that were scheduled to come to my house last night that were from the event on Saturday. And I posted a picture because I invested into them last night. I posted that picture and some people were like, "Whoa, wow. Business as usual, huh? No time to even contemplate the meaning of Jessie Lee's passing. No time to mourn it." I'm celebrating her life by pouring into other people. That's what I'm doing. You can do it whatever way you want to do it. But my decision is to double down. My decision is to give more. My decision is to up my game. One of the things I love best about network marketing is it creates an environment that helps people become better. We measure things by rank advancement and volume and dollars, but nobody talked over the last 2 days about, look how much money she made. They talked about how many lives did she touch. So if you're going to be offended by me pouring myself into other people and finding the next person ready to go out and impact the world and see if I can't help them grow a little faster, do a little better, improve, then you need to not be in my orbit, because that's what I'm going to do. I would encourage all of you to use this example and her example to play big. Don't play small. We'll find a way to celebrate her life together as a community. I'm working on that now. Not in any way to do anything other than thank her and show her example of what a person can do when they decide to reach for the best in themselves, regardless of circumstance. They decide to love people without limits. They decide to be loud and 100% themselves without slowing down in the face of criticism. And she received her fair share of criticism. She gave anyway. She loved anyway. She contributed anyway, up to the last minute. You can too. And I'm going to as well. So, here's the question. What are you going to do in the time you have left? And how are we going to measure your life when your time on this earth is done? How many people are going to say, this person, you, changed their life, made it better, improved it, caused them to play at a higher level, and move the contribution forward? I will tell you, I love all of you, and I'm proud of the fact that together we're an extended family, that we care about each other, that we embrace each other, that we accept each other's weaknesses and faults. We try to get better every day. But I will also tell you, all of us have a higher calling. We only have so much time. Let's see what we can do with it, okay? So to my dear friend, Jessie Lee, thank you. Thank you. On behalf of everybody that was ever close to your orbit, we're grateful for you, and we love you. Talk soon, my friends. Let's do big things.